Okay, I'm gonna try to tell y'all this dream. I'm gonna tell y'all this dream I had. It was actually over. It's Kendall. I'm actually in the car, as you can see, and it's nighttime. I got some lighting on, try to illuminate myself a little better. Okay. I had the day it is January the 5th, 2020. Welcome to the new year. Actually, the dream was about 2 hours ago. Actually, I took like a late nap in the afternoon at my house at the loft at 804 South Jackson Street, Extension, Brookhaven, Mississippi. That's where I was, and all the dogs were taking a nap, and the cat. So I took the nap. So I had this dream, and I don't know why it's been so long that I'm documenting it, other than the series of events. I realized that I need to go to Walmart. Walmart's like 30 miles from my house, so I'm on the way back from that right now. So what the dream was it started out, I was with a good friend of mine. Her name's Diana, and I knew her from my club days, and I'm actually still friends with her on Facebook. Shout out to Diana. I don't know why she was in it, other than it was a familiar person. We'll get more into that with the analysis at the end. So Diana and some other females that it was not stated who they were walking through this like really dark but inviting like apartment, right? And we're saying like, this will be so-and-so's bedroom, this will be so-and-so's bedroom. And there was this area that was like a living room area, but the house was unfamiliar to me in the dream. And it's like the living room area had this huge series of room dividers that really sectioned all of it off and created like made it almost like you're walking through a hallway into the other part of the house. But you could kind of see through the room dividers. You could see there was a bed over there, you know. And somebody said, "Well, Kendall, that'll be your room." And I said, "Well, that'd be cool." I said, "It almost makes it like, you know, it's a separate room." And then somebody pointed out you could see, you know, through the room dividers. And I said, "So what? Somebody gonna watch me jacking off?" I said, "Y'all forget about me." This is like verbatim what I said in the dream. I said, "Y'all forget about me. I don't have any modesty at all." And like, I actually like dropped trout, like took my pants off right then, and like they were all laughing and blushing and stuff. They were like, "Oh, Kendall, we know you," you know. And then for some reason we all congregated in one of the rooms, almost as if we had moved in to the room. At first it was like we were being shown the apartment. The second was like we were moved in, and we were sitting down and talking. And I said, I kept on. I had them laughing about, you know, after I took my pants down. I pulled my pants back up, and I was talking. I said, as a matter of fact, I said, you know, I'm so immodest. I said, let's do this. And I like picked up the phone and I dialed a local radio station. It seems like it was in San Francisco. That'll come into play later in the dream. And like I said, and like I started doing it when the people at the radio station answered the phone. I started doing my radio voice. The girls in the room were just laughing hysterically. I started doing my voice, and I said, "Yes, thanks for calling, you know, K10C, you know, and this is Kendall Johnson, and you've just won a new car if you can complete the task." And they're like, on the other end of the line, they just played with it. They were like, "What's the task?" I said, "There's a large billboard outside with a comfortable chair in it, and writing about you. You'll climb to the top of the billboard. And you have to stay up there for an entire 24 hours, and you'll win a brand new 2020 Ford F-150." I remember it said, you know, I said in the dream, you know, and like all of a sudden he came to be, and like knock, and we go look at the door. There's a limousine waiting for me. So like the girls are like, "Go, you go, Kendall," you know, like. So I get in the limousine. And they take me just right down the street. There was literally a billboard set up with a chair up on it. And like I went up, I got up in it, and then like there was like they locked the bottom, the ladder part that you get up to. They locked it. They said, now you got to stay up here for 24 hours. There's cameras on you at all times, you know. So I was like, okay. So as the evening progressed, it got to be nighttime, like it is now, oddly, you know. Got to be nighttime, and I was sitting up there, and all of a sudden, like, this is really weird. Like, another girl that I knew, her name is Melissa Green. She, and her boyfriend were like walking like semi-nude down on this, like almost like I could look down from the billboard, and there was almost this swampy beach area, and she had like taken off all her clothes and was pointing her back in up at me, and instead of me seeing her like in real time, like down on the ground doing that, like she was somehow electronically shooting up these like Polaroid snapshots of her like nude from the waist down with her butt in the air, you know. And I was kind of liking it, you know. And she was like, those are for you to use later up in the chair, Kendall, so everybody can watch you. And I was like, what? And, you know, like she was like, you know. And like the boyfriend came, and he was like, hey man, what's up? Like he was cool with her showing me her body and stuff. Like anyway, the way I knew her, and like back in the day when I knew her, she was a dancer, a stripper. So it was all copacetic, you know. So then they were like, it's like there was this somehow this feeling in the dream like I wasn't supposed to drink a beer, you know. She was like, come on, Kendall, let's go get a beer. And I was like, well, I can't go get one. And I said, y'all can go get me one, you know. But I felt like I wasn't supposed to drink. And she reminded me, she said, you know, it's not that you're not supposed to drink a beer. It's that you're supposed to stay in the seat all night. And I was like, yeah, you're right. So like they went to the bar, and it was right down the street, and they came back with a Heineken, you know. And then, but it still had the cap on it, but I didn't realize that. Then all of a sudden, this cop appeared. He was like, "Want to make sure that that you're not drinking." So I was right. You know what I'm saying? Not only was I supposed to sit in the chair, I wasn't supposed to drink a beer while I was up there. You know, because I was on camera, it wouldn't have looked good, whatever. So he's like, "What's in the bag?" And I showed him, and I said, I was trying. I don't know why, but in the beer, I told him to get a Michelob, and there was this like African American guy that was a barback. He looked at the bottle, and he's like, "That doesn't look anything like a Michelob, but like, I'll get you one," you know. So like, he went and brought me the Michelob, and it was a screw on top, like the old Michelobs, and like I didn't even unscrew it or anything. I just like put it in the bag, left down there, you know. And then, so the 24 hours in, I think there was a scene where like I was up on the chair, and like everything was quiet on the, you know, it was real early in the morning, 2-3 o'clock in the morning. There was no traffic or anything, and I was like, I just popped one off, you know. So like I rubbed one out like in the chair, like I guess if there were cameras on me, they saw it or whatever, you know. And then the dream ended. Like the next day came, and apparently I won. I stayed in the chair 24 hours, and I got the new truck. So that was the dream. Now, the analysis of the dream, you know, my dream made me be around strippers out of the club as friends, congregating in an apartment building. And that's something I always wanted to do, hang out with the strippers after hours. And I never really did. I did some. But anyway, the point of the person that was kind of almost like in charge in the apartment, being Diana, that's kind of important, because she was somebody that kind of kept me in line at a certain stage around 1998. You know, she represented kind of almost an authority figure, kind of in a sexy way. So there was that. And then me just busting out and clowning about, you know, making up the thing about the billboard, and that coming to be like, I don't know, there's this huge quality of me, and that's comedy, and I've always liked making people laugh. And the deal about not having any modesty, that is very true. Like, I absolutely, I know what it was, that I had to sit in the chair on the billboard naked. That was what it was. I had to sit on the billboard naked for 24 hours, like to show that I wasn't modest. And you know, in the analysis, that speaks to, sometimes I really do kind of feel like I'm always on camera. There's a lot of evidence that leads towards it, but there's no direct evidence it's all circumstantial evidence throughout the years. But you know, the fact that I might be always on camera and still have to go through daily, you know, daily necessities like rubbing one out. You know, if you're on camera for the world to see, what do you do? I mean, just never rub one out? No, you just go ahead and rub one out and try not to think about it. So I think maybe the dream was speaking of that component of me about having to kind of momentarily suppress thoughts about possibly being on camera for the world to see, just to get through daily life. And you know, it really would be nice to have a new Ford F-150. So you know, it was a positive dream, you know. But maybe like in a nutshell, the dream was reminding me that I'm on camera, so to try to fake modesty. You know, like maybe the dream's telling me, we know you're not modest, but try to fake it. You know, maybe that's what it was. So anyway, that was the dream. It's a little bit after 7 p.m. on January the 5th, 2020. And if you like this, I don't know if this is going to be a series, you know, my dreams and interpretations, and you know, people might be interested. And if you are, maybe shoot me a like on this video. And if you're interested, you know, interested to hear and see more, hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.